My name is Cindy Morris. I'm the Vice President of Development and Community Engagement here at ASA, and thank you for joining us today. We are talking today about something really fun and something very easy. We're all about to enter into the summer months, and we are desperate to find activities to do for perhaps some people who are home from their normal school day. And this is a really fun opportunity for us to think about this. So I'm going to introduce my friend today, Lakeland Eichenberger. You may have known her as Lakeland Hogan from Home Instead. Lakeland, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. You're right. Summertime is a great time of year to be talking about this topic. I'm excited to dive in.
Yeah, this is kind of a fun one for me because a lot of times we're talking about really big programs that you need millions of dollars to enact and create and get involved in and replicate. And that's really exciting if you have those. But the program we're talking about today gets to the very heart of what can I do, right? And so often that's all we're looking for is something that one individual can do. So let's give the background. This past week was National Pen Pal Day.
It was, yeah, June 1st.
Okay, so June 1st was National Pen Pal Day. And that's what started our conversation to say we should be doing an ASA Live because Home Instead has a special program that they started during the pandemic that really was all about the pen pal concept. This was, as we look at social isolation, as we look at loneliness, this was the easy solution, right? Like this was the thing that, again, we could do when we couldn't leave our houses. We could do this one. So talk to me about this a little bit. What is this program and why do you do it?
Yeah, well, like you said, during the pandemic, we were all isolated and lonely. And we know for the older adult population, they were experiencing that far before the pandemic. You know, there's about 14 million older adults that live alone. And so they have very limited daily, sometimes even weekly or monthly social interaction with others. And so we at Home Instead, we're big believers in giving back. Social purpose is a huge part of kind of how we do business. We know we can't serve everyone with our home care services, but we can make a difference in the lives of older adults. And so we also know that small acts of kindness go a really long way. And so, you know, even a letter, for example, is really just a small gesture. But for someone who's isolated, who doesn't have regular social connection, that might be, you know, the interaction that they need that gives them hope or a smile or just improves their quality of life that day. And we know that there's links between quality of life and health and all of that. So, you know, we created this Pen Pal program through our Ready to Care initiative, and we've seen a really tremendous response. We've gotten thousands of letters from people who want to help older adults feel less lonely and isolated. Of course, we screen for safety and privacy, which I can talk a little bit more about later, but then we deliver these letters through a variety of channels. And so we're using the month of June, since June 1st was National Pen Pal Month, to really promote this program, but most importantly, to find people who can help us distribute these letters, because we're getting so much of a great response, but we need to connect with, you know, local senior centers, assisted living, independent living, skilled nursing facilities, maybe even churches or local community centers to get these letters out into the world and get these connections made. So thanks for having me so I can share about this. And I would love for those that are listening, if you have connections, let us know. We have a form on our site where you can request letters to help us, you know, spread this kindness and social connection throughout the country.
Yeah, this is, you know, I always say I have two kids. They are now teenagers, but they used to be adorable. And no, they're still some of my favorite people. But all the time in the summer, I'm always looking for them to do something besides the fun, right? Because for us, that's been part of our family mantra for years, is that we look at how do we affect the world around us. And I love the intergenerational opportunity this provides, right? And the idea that it's, yes, they can provide letters, but they can receive letters. And there is something really magical about that relationship as it continues. And so I know today we're putting a call out to, senior centers, skilled nursing facilities, assisted living facilities, independent living facilities, a synagogue, a temple, a mosque. Like, are there anybody who needs added support for some of their older adults? And if so, this is a very simple way for you to get it, and it's free, and it really gives you this resource that you wouldn't have otherwise had access to without doing the work yourself. This is kind of one of those you don't have to do any work moments. But I really love this idea of also putting out the call to families who are looking for something this summer, and making that connection for them. We live in a world where our grandparents mostly do not live very close to us any longer. And so there is a really nice opportunity to form these relationships. Can you tell me a little bit about, when you all started this? I know you said, oh, we're going to do this during the pandemic.
Yeah.
It has grown.
It has.
Have you heard any really great stories from it at all?
We have, there's one in particular. So this, the pen pal, she's very musically gifted. So in her letter, she, asked her new friend, what kind of music do you like? Do you have a favorite song? And so she responded with her favorite song. And the pen pal is musically gifted. So she recorded a video of her singing the song and sent it to her pen pal. And so we did get some great footage. I'm going to try to track that down so we can share that information out. But that was really so special. And just the smile that it brought to the woman's face. And she started singing along too. So a lot of this, people are finding they have common interests across those generational lines. Sometimes we think like older adults, what do I have in common with them? We have so much in common. Something else really neat, especially, in the hard times of the pandemic, we had the older adult pen pal sharing wisdom with the younger adult pen pal, saying, I've seen us as a nation go through hard times and we've come through. So it's important to have hope. Those kinds of messages I think are really special as well, because older adults are resilient and they have lived a lot of life experience. So we've seen, sharing of common interest, sharing of wisdom. It's really been special. A lot of also reminiscing. I know in the couple pen pal letters that I've written, I like to talk about past memories because, we had a pen pal writing experience in our office last week where we had kind of a picnic lunch, and I was writing to my pen pal, what are some of your favorite summer memories? Because some of mine growing up were going on picnics with my siblings. So, these letters don't have to be super long. They don't have to be super, complex and thoughtful. They really can just draw on your own interest and experience and to share that with your pen pal. So I think getting young people involved over the summer on their summer breaks can be a really neat way to get these connections going.
Yeah, and it's always recommended by their teachers, right? To keep writing, right? Like keep writing, keep reading. What a really great way to do that and make this big connection. And I really appreciate the idea that it is a pen pal, right? Because so often when we think about the programs that are created, we think about serving the older adult and not looking at the value that the older adults bring into this equation. And so what I love hearing as you're talking about this is they were teaching their pen pal, right? They were taking the role here of not somebody who needed help, but someone who was providing help. And that's kind of really special to think about. It's equally important for us to recognize this is not an activity just for kids. You have a pen pal, right? Right. This is something that anybody can do. And so this is even a really good opportunity for, people who are maybe in the assisted living centers, in the senior centers, in the skilled nursing facilities, to do the pen paling and to be the one who is initiating this. And it's one of those things that that can be done in writing, it can be done in recordings, it can be done in any number of ways to be able to create a relationship that really is meaningful on all sides.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, and it's really easy to get involved. All you have to do is go to our website, readytocare.com/pen pals. So readytocare.com/pen pals, and submit a letter. We have letter templates that you can use, some ideas for prompts if you're like, what should I write about? And then the Home Instead Ready to Care team, they screen the letters for safety and security. And then we again send these letters out through our Home Instead franchises, our Honor Care partners, employees in our organization, and in partnering organizations. And also, again, we're doing a call today for you watching to reach out to us if you can help us distribute pen pal letters as well. So it really is that simple. And you can also request that your pen pal responds either by snail mail or by email. So there's options there as to how you wish to communicate. I think it's so special to get a handwritten letter. That's really a lost art almost these days, because I know when I go to my mailbox, it's like junk mail, ad. So to have an actual letter, how special is that? But, we know that a lot of older adults are tech savvy and they might have email that they want to correspond through. So are a lot of options. And then also, if you want to request letters to your senior living community, your senior center, your faith-based organization, on the Ready to Care website, there's also a request form where you can request a certain number of letters, and then we'll get in touch with you and get you letters to distribute. It really is very simple.
That sounds super easy. So the website again, and we'll put this down in the comments, but it is readytocare.com, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
/pen pals.
/pen pals. So it's readytocare.com/pen pals. My sister has written, we have an aunt who is 95 years old. And since my sister went to college, clearly many years ago, she has written every single week to my aunt, and she wrote every week to my grandmother until she passed away years ago. But and my aunt writes back to her every single week. And the beauty of those letters is they will always have these written documents, there's something really special about that is really beautiful. And so I'm very excited for this because, as I said, we so often are talking about a massive program that is going to take, months and months to plan and replicate. And this is something you can dive right into. You can jump on this today. So I encourage you all to share this video. This is one of those things that's like, share this video, but don't just share it within your aging network, share it outside of your aging network, because this is one of those things that everybody can get activated in. And that's what we want to have happen. And I want to stress that there was a reason why we talked about this today. Yes, part of that reason is that it was Pen Pal Day last week. But there's another really important piece to this, and that is that we are gearing up for our Health Equity Forum this coming July. It's July 18th for 1 week. For those of you who remember our Generations Forums, they are 1 hour a day, very, very short, very simple, time commitment that it's all done virtually. You don't have to leave the house, you don't have to get on an airplane. But the beauty of this is that we really talk about the issues that you'd be talking about anyway, but we are doing it through an age-inclusive lens. So we are talking about health equity, but we're talking about it in terms of aging. And one of the things that we always think about within health equity is the social isolation and loneliness part of things. And the fact that that is such a social determinant of health that can have real consequences. And so this is an exciting way for us to kind of kick off our discussion around the Health Equity Forum and start to think about how do we get this into the hands of people who can really benefit. And again, it doesn't have to be somebody who only receives letters. We want this is a two-way street. And so there's something really, really special about that really drives home the power of everybody involved. Lakeland, thank you for sharing this with us.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for allowing me to share. And I just want to thank everyone watching for considering becoming a pen pal or helping us distribute letters. We can't do it alone. It's going to take all of us. And these just small acts of kindness really go a lot farther than you think. So become a pen pal today.
I love it. Thank you, everybody. Have a really wonderful summer week. I hope your weather is gorgeous. I'm finally getting to look at flowers outside my window, which is always a positive. So I hope you all are too. And we'll see you in a couple weeks. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.